everyone, welcome to K-Drama Hangout, your weekly review into your favorite Korean dramas, episode by episode. I'm Sarai.
And I'm Melody.
Kat could not make it with us this week, but she'll join us next week for the final review episode, you guys. Woo!
We're so close.
So, for today, we will be reviewing The Scholar Who Walks the Night, also known as Pamul Kon Sambi, episodes 17 and 18. So, if you missed our review on episode 15 and 16, please check out the link in the description box below and catch up, okay?
All right. So, in episode 17, the story continues with Gui and Sung-yeol fighting in Gui's cave. However, Sung-yeol has turned into a different type of vampire when Young Sun gives him her blood to help him fight Gui. During the fight, Young Sun and Soo-young escape from Gui's cave, but get stuck with the prince who is currently fighting the queen's father. Again, they manage to escape to safety. However, Sung-yeol has gone into a rampage of killing people. He ends up exposing himself to everyone, and the public begins to assume that he's the vampire that's been living in the palace, controlling the king, and fear begins to set in. As Young Sun and Soo-young try to find a way out of the city, Gui has set up searches at every exit. In an attempt to sneak out, Young Sun hides in a wheelbarrow guarded by the hunter bike. However, the guards catch on and begin fighting them. Sung-yeol manages to find Young Sun. However, he's still in his crazy vampire state and craves for Young Sun's blood. Right before Hunter Bake passes away, he's able to get Sung-yeol to snap out of his crazy state. In episode 18, Young Sun and Sung-yeol's servants try to help heal Sung-yeol, but Sung-yeol soon realizes that everything they told him about the past couple of days was a lie, and he demands the truth. Meanwhile, Gui has taken over the throne and has staged vampire outbreaks around the city so he can take credit for saving the people. However, at the end of this episode, through Young Sun's sequel to Scholar Who Walks the Night and witnesses of Sung-yeol and the former king fighting the vampires Gui created, the people begin to doubt Gui. All right, so we're going to go straight to oh my gosh moments. Sarai, have you had any of those in these two episodes?
I've had so many, I can't count. But they're all like moments that made me question everything. Like,
yeah.
Okay, first of all, didn't Sung-yeol like already taste Young Sung's blood?
Yeah.
And now he's like in this crazy state. I didn't understand. I was like, well, wait a minute, but he's had blood before. So how is he?
I'm going to quote myself whenever I was like, okay, well, I guess it just takes like a certain amount of her blood for it to kick in with him. Like, I didn't know like why he hadn't already had that effect. I had the same thoughts.
I thought two things. That maybe he's had like a limit, like there's only a certain amount of blood he can have from her before he goes cuckoo. Or that because that specific spot that she had was already bitten by the vampire before, which was her father, live, that maybe that had some sort of special blood or special area, that when she gave the blood from that specific area, that when he had it, then it made him go cuckoo. So that's what I thought. I don't know if those were like exactly what's supposed to be thought of, but those are the only reasons I can think of. But to me, both of them are stupid.
I thought either that, the significance that it came from that wound, or the fact that he just happened to be in Gui's presence when he received that blood from her. Maybe, I don't know.
So I have a thing about Korean dramas that I just don't like. No matter where I see it in Korean dramas, I just don't like seeing it. I don't even like seeing it in any type of drama. But just like when the lead character is kind of like deciding for himself who he is, when he had such a strong conviction at the beginning, and then there's nothing that shows that he's like doubting himself.
Yeah.
That is something that I feel is a very big character flaw for me. And since I like reading scripts and sometimes writing them, I find these little nitpicks in characters and I can't stand it. So this whole ploy of him becoming this character that I gotta find myself, like, towards the end of the drama where we're supposed to be like, let's kill the bad guy and get it over with, he's now having these doubts. And I'm kind of like, where did this come from? So, I don't know. I just don't like it. But, yeah, that was kind of like it was hard for me to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of like whenever he was going through it, I was kind of also like, this is a little bit annoying. But then again, I feel like they could have portrayed that in a different way, because I do understand that, I mean, he's a vampire and he finally tasted like a lot of blood of the one that he's in love with, which is supposed to be like the strongest blood. And not only that, but it's the blood that turned him in to be strong enough to kill Gui. So like he's got all of this newfound power. So I can see how he would be like swayed by it, but I feel like the moment lasted too long or something. I don't know. I tend to somewhat agree with you on that too. I was a little bit surprised. I mean, I kind of expected it, but it was still a little bit like, oh, okay, it really did happen whenever Gui appointed himself as king.
Yes! Oh my gosh! That is exactly what I was going to say.
Yes. Great minds think alike. But yeah, I was like, we're in like the meeting and the seat is vacant and we're waiting for Gui to walk in to announce who he's gonna appoint king, and he walks in the king robe, but like not all completely made up, like it's still like hanging open. And so I had this moment of, oh, hello. And I was like, dang. I had this moment of like, it was like a split second of, yeah, I was kind of expecting that, but then again, oh my gosh, he's actually the king now. And then it was like, well, dang, I kind of like that. I kind of like him in the king's robe. Like he looked good in it, like with the whole hair done and everything. But yeah, it was like a halfway, oh my gosh moment. Because like I said, I was kind of expecting it because he wants all of this power. But then again, whenever I saw it, I was still like, oh my gosh, it actually happened.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, what took you so long? Like, you've been controlling the kingdom for how long? And now is when you realize, or you have this epiphany that these people are not going to listen to me, so I might as well become king. Like, yeah. I thought it was too long, like, for you to think about that. you should have been done that.
Like, finally, geez, like, you've been controlling from this behind the scenes for so long, like, why now? But I mean, obviously now, because this is where we are watching the story.
True. But I mean, like, I was like, I love Gui, you know, but sometimes I think that because his mind is so dominated by power, that he becomes one of those evil villains that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I have to think and be like, you're being a dumb villain today. Like,
you're being a dumb villain today. Go think about what you've done.
Exactly. So when recording Korean dramas like this, the directors usually call out a good take by saying print or a bad take by saying no good or NG. So what would you give these two episodes, Melody?
Really, I don't really remember much of 17, and my phone didn't save my notes that I had made over the episodes, so I can't remember. I don't remember much of 17, but I would give 18 a print, because there was a lot of action in it, and although I think 18 is where we had the moment where he was in the woods, or no, maybe that was 17.
That was 17.
Yeah, that was maybe that's why I don't remember 17. But I feel like 18 had or maybe 17 had more of the action. Okay, I'll just give them both prints then. Because they both had a lot of I really liked that we saw Sung Yul actually dominating Gui in episode 17. After Sung Yul had left and everything, and Gui was like limping around, and you finally could see that Sung Yul could defeat Gui. So I liked that in 17. Again, okay, this happened with the king's like bodyguard, the grandson that ended up being turned into a vampire for a little while. Okay, so like, you know how I had that episode where I was just like, I just really like him. And then boom, he's a vampire. And I was like, what the heck? Okay, so I'm in episode 17 and Hunter Big is like helping them or something, and I'm like, I just really like him, and boom, he's dead. So I'm gonna stop liking people from now because apparently that gets them killed or turned into a vampire. But I don't know how that happens to me, but it happened to me twice in this series, in this drama. But yeah, chase that rabbit. But I would give them both prints because they were both entertaining, except for that, like, I feel like 15 minutes of him arguing with himself. I don't think it was actually 15 minutes, but it felt like 15 minutes arguing with himself in the woods. Yeah, it felt like the entire thing. But except for that little clip, I would give the whole thing a print.
So, some viewers might not like what I'm about to say. But I'd give both of these NGs. I'm very mean this week. I will explain my reasoning, though. First of all, as I said before, 17 had that whole character doubting and evil vampire, lost humanity kind of stuff that I didn't really like. 18 kind of dragged that a little bit more. The only significant thing I could say that was important in this, like, it wasn't even episode 17, it was 18, that needed to be said, and that's the only, I guess, reason why they did all this, was that the secret key is Yang Song, but in order for Sung Yul to awaken as a vampire hunter, he has to drink Yang Song's blood, and then he has to turn into this monster in order to kill Gui. But then he doesn't know how to control himself, so that is now the conflict.
Right.
But my thing is, they took 2 long episodes, to tell you this.
Very true.
When I felt like it could have been easily said in like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, you know? So that's why I'm giving them both NGs. But I will review at least episode 18 to see if we can make it a print. Because I feel that one had a little bit more of leading us through the story. I just feel like this whole scenario with the losing humanity thing took us off of our route a little bit, and now I want to get back on the route and watch the 2 finale episodes and be like, yeah, we're going to kick Gui's butt, we're going to see some action, we're going to get this done, and the show's going to end like awesome. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it, so that's why it's an NG for me.
I think one other very important thing that happened in 18 was in the last 10 minutes of the episode, where somebody comes in and tells King Gui that there's been another vampire outbreak, and I love it too, because you like see his smirkness, and he's like, well, let me go take care of this. And then the guy's like, it seems like the Black Garb clan has already taken care of it. The Black Garb and Sung Yul have already taken care of it. And he's just like, Mora! And I'm like, yeah, it's already taken care of. What now? And then you go back out to that scene and Sung-yeol like smells the blood that has just been shed, and he turns vampire-y, and everybody's scared of him. But that one little girl recognizes that he's the scholar who walks the night, and she goes out and shows everybody that he is a tame vampire. So that was very important, I think, too, for us to see that the people are noticing that Gui is, in fact, the bad vampire, not the good vampire.
Yeah, hence moving the story forward to where it needs to go.
Yeah. And I don't know if I was just emotional whenever I watched that episode, but whenever I watched the last bit of it, and I saw, the townspeople like helping him up and everything, I was just like, oh, they're so sweet. Look at them. They're like, let's help him. He's the one that helped us. And I was like, that was a good ending.
I liked that ending though. But again, because it's moving us toward the finale, which I can't wait to watch.
I know.
So speaking of finales, since it's next week we finish, we do have predictions, hopefully. The last and final predictions for this show.
There's so much weight on it.
I know, there's so much weight. So, Melody, bring it home.
I really feel like, because while Sung-yeol was in his uncontrolled state, in his vampire hunter state, with his blue eyes, which were beautiful, by the way. I loved the blue eyes. Soo-young was telling Young Sun that she's the only one that can calm Sung-yeol down. Like, she was like, you can calm him down. So I feel like, and this was another thing that I straight up legit said out loud while I was watching this, was like, okay, well, here's what easily solve this problem, okay? Take some of that blood, okay, and like put it in a little cup, right? Let her escape the city, and then let Sung-yeol drink the blood, her blood, while she's already escaped, all right? She's already somewhere escaped, right? Then he drinks the blood, he turns into this state and is in front of Gui at that point, and goes ahead and kills Gui, lets the blood effect wear off, and then she can come back and they live happily ever after, okay? Problem solved. But they're not going to do it like that, because that's too simple. But I feel like what's going to happen is that she's going to give him part of her blood or something, and she's just going to have to, like, use her guts and put herself in front of him and hope that his love is going to conquer all and realize who she is and not drink her blood dry. I am really happy that the queen is all about the king. I was really happy about that.
Me too.
Because she's so cute. Like, I'm really happy that they're happy. Anyways, yeah, that should have been in the oh my gosh moments. But I don't really know what else there is to predict. I mean, at this point, we already know how her blood is the maternal lineage and all that good stuff. The only thing that I think we have to predict is like how he overcomes turning into the vampire hunter, but still being able to be with her when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think the scene that took the forever, the mental scene between, his good self and his dark self, I feel that the scene where he's deciding, and funny thing is that the evil one, the hunter one, is still talking to him even after he's awake.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like he has to kind of, I don't know, not destroy the vampire hunter, but come to the point where he can bring his good self and then hunter under his good self. Let this one be and this one be under this one.
Yeah.
So then when he goes to kill Gui, he still is sane. you know?
Right. He'll kind of merge it. Like he'll be able to balance it better instead of being one extreme or the other.
Yeah. So I think that has to be another mental thing that he's going to have to go through maybe in the next episode we watch. So that he can find, I guess, the secret way to do that so he can go and kill Gui and then we can get all this over with. So the kingdom can go back to where it's supposed to be. Yeah. I really have no predictions. I'm really happy that the king and queen are for each other too.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my prediction is that they will live a happy life.
Yes. They will live happily ever after. All right. So that's it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and please share. We need y'all's help sharing. If you want to follow any of the reviewers, you're gonna find all of our links below. So please come and hang out with us next week as we review the 2 final episodes of Scholar Who Walks the Night.
2 final!
All right. So until then, keep it dramatic.
Bye, guys. See you next week. Oh, I didn't tell you my birthday just passed.
What?
Yeah, it passed Saturday.
Well, 생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. Sarai. Oh, Sarai. 생일 축하합니다.
Woo! It was a half work, but I will take it. Thank you.
Oh, what's her name? The woman servants.
Soo-young.
Soo-young, yes. Kat was telling her, you're the only one that can calm him down.
Kat was telling her?
No. Soo-young was telling Kat, where did Kat come from?